instructional time. They have teaching time and non-teaching time, okay? Excuse me, if I can't, that's what they have. You may call it whatever you want. You may say that you sat there diligently for 6.5 hours every day and you did nothing but that. There's work that needs to be done. This says to the superintendent, develop a schedule to get it done. If there is an issue with it, so be it, we'll deal with it then. But I use the non-instructional time to mean that time when they are not in front of students. And I didn't say all of it. I said some of it. And why? Because we have been waiting for now 2+ months to get an answer. And I don't know if it's obfuscation, but I choose not to wait any longer. And I'm asking the board to back the superintendent if we think that she has that discretion to get this done. It's nothing more than our assertion that we believe that this needs to be done. You can disagree with me, and you just vote against it, because it's still going to take 5 votes.
Number one, is it even enforceable? Can you, if we voted yes, it says so, to immediately develop a schedule. Can you really develop a schedule, or do you need to stand over every single teacher and make sure they do it?
The schedule was developed for this year that gave teachers common planning time. So in the past, teachers have had prep time. I have directed administrators for this school year to create schedules where teachers at the grade level or in a department had the same planning time off, so should they choose to do so, they could work collaboratively with the band and prep together. So the time is in the schedule now. While there's no language in the contract that says that administrators can't direct teachers some of that time to work together on this work, the union has made it very clear to me that they will read it, and that they believe that prep time should be totally the teacher's discretionary time. And so I think it's important for the board to consider that if administrators, on my direction, tell teachers that there will be some of this time that would be directed, it's going to come back as in the form of a grievance, and the board will need to deal with it. So,
Yeah. The other thing, I want to be careful here on blaming teachers over the last 2 months. If we're gonna place blame, I think we have a collective blame to be accepted by the whole school over the course of the last year. I don't want to sit here and put it all on teachers. There was a curriculum director put in a year ago, and we're talking about writing curriculum now. So I want to be careful that, we're pitting this all on teachers. The other thing that would just be interesting to me is, I sat in a curriculum meeting where the principal said the teachers don't have time to write curriculum. So if the principal was sitting our high school principal was sitting and saying the teachers don't have time to do it, then how are we to sit here and vote to say they do have time to do it?
they don't have time given the current practice where time during the day is not corrected. The time I think the principal was referring to is that in the 4 after-school meetings among the contractually key teachers is insufficient.
That's your interpretation of what you meant.
And if he's here, we can ask him, but I will stand by that was what
I would much rather see some kind of collaborative discussion with the teachers. I think we just have, rather than saying, you've got to do this, we're not going to get good conditions, and we don't even know whether they have time to work. I think they should.
So the last thing is there is a meeting on April 24th. So let's say you mandated it, it got agreed. What's your time frame on all that? Are we going to be at that meeting by the time we deal with grievance and all that? Are we going to be at April 20th? It's April 24th is going to be 16 days away. So are we causing an infuriation that we don't need to, considering that, I think what Lori said, what she recommended is this collective group is coming forth on the 24th. Is be worth the
And
infuriating the system.
I would look at this and say that according to this motion, we're directing the administrative team to come up with a plan, a schedule we have, what would we do? And certainly at that curriculum committee, that plan could be put on the table with that group of people for discussion, to look at how reasonable and how doable that is, if we get teacher input, certainly they would have that.
I think that makes it pretty good. There was a part-time director of curriculum. I went back and I looked at, I don't know if somebody knows, the old budgets. And in the back of the old budget, and the front of the old budget, 0607 was a curriculum map. And it had, in 0607, we're gonna look at math, we're gonna revise language arts, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. That was 8 years ago. And somewhere between there and here, we got to the point where we are. So we went and we talked to teachers, union reps, and said, well, you had this curriculum council or curriculum, whatever it was. How come stuff didn't get done? Well, I guess, we didn't know what to do. So we implement a part-time director of curriculum. What did he do? And administration created schedules within the school day so that there is common prep time, we want to use it, non-instructional time, so that the teachers can meet with their data teams, can meet with their RPI teams, can meet as a group, vertically, horizontally, however it all works, so you can figure out how you guys get it to work. But anyway, it's there. The groundwork has been laid. The groundwork has been laid. We've got half days coming at the high school. If you say, and practice being what it is, past practice being what it is, doesn't mean that that's okay. I don't understand why, as a Board of Ed, we cannot say that this is the work that needs to get done, and you're going to do it while we're paying you. And if the board does not approve this motion, I don't know what that says to the community and to the teachers. And we have no authority over what they do with their day in this building. I just think it's setting us up for crazy.
I will do this, but you don't need a motion to develop schedules. Develop schedules, come back to the board, and if you want to then support, you need
Well,
to
then
submit
why
the
does it
schedule.
have to come back to the full board then? The reason I think Mr. Barney did this is because unless the teacher union sees that the board is behind this, they're just not going to do it.
Fact of the matter is, and I'll reiterate, I said, number one, I didn't go with teachers. I never used them, other than to say it here, it's their non-instructional time. I was very careful about what I said. I believe teachers want up-to-date, modern curriculum. I believe they want materials that go with it. I believe this, but I believe somewhere after 8 years, remember the most recent curriculum revision was done 8 years ago. We come in here and we say, oh my God, we're gonna have the New England Association on our back. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get a black mark for no curriculum. When do we start moving? When does this board say, do it? It's gotta be done. If they're gonna file a grievance, file it. And let's run it through the process, and we'll have an impartial arbiter come in and decide whether the position that I'm advocating is correct, or the position the EHEA is correct. It's real easy. It'll take a little time. In the meantime, at least we're getting something done. And if the arbiter says, oh my heavens, you had a Board of Education, said something terrible, and here's the consequence you pay. But right now, we have heard repeatedly that work isn't being done because the time doesn't exist, although we're told the schedule has one. All this is saying is, do it. That's all. We're just, and we're putting the weight of the board behind the superintendent and her staff's effort. Period.
I think one of the things we're saying is, we didn't do it for 8 years, so now you're gonna do it now because you got these people coming. I would say that the board, whoever the board is and was, had an obligation to continue that curriculum development over the last 8 years. And now you don't say to the teachers, oh, we didn't do it over the last 8 years, do it now. I agree with you that teachers want up-to-date curriculum. But I think we need to see how it can best be done.
How much non-instructional time do the teachers have every day? Is it 90 minutes?
At the high school, it's 90 minutes, 90-minute blocks. At the middle school, it's 2 45-minute blocks. And at the elementary school, it's an hour block every day, and then there's an additional hour block which elementary school uses.
So we're not saying that every week during every one of those prep periods, we're gonna be asking teachers to work on curriculum or SRBI. We're saying, as Bill wrote here, and which I agree with, I totally agree with this, that some of the teachers, this is what I do every day. I look at prep periods, I think of what's reasonable, this is how curriculum gets done, this is how SRBI, granted, a lot of it gets done in the summer, but we've gotta move things ahead. I just want to ensure, I need some assurances that the administration is not gonna say to teachers, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, during your 90-minute prep periods, whatever, you're working on this. It's gotta be reasonable, because Lori is absolutely correct as well. A prep period is a prep period. Teachers need to be correcting papers, they need to be putting information on Power School, they need to be contacting parents. We cannot take away all of their time, but some of it can and should be used for this purpose. And I would 100% back the administration in that regards, because you've gotta have some avenues of time to get things done. We can't ask them before school, we can't ask them after school. When do we ask them? During some of these blocks of time. And if my recollection is correct, they have more time now because of the schedule. Is that right?
The elementary school increased the time by
And it's about time. It's about time, because the elementary school was being shortchanged for 100 years. So it's about time. Mike?
Is there any possibility that this agreement you're looking for could be reached in 16 days, as Sean says?
May I respond? We've waited for 2 months, actually more than 2 months.
Right, they didn't give you that date until recently, and that's what they've been waiting about.
They did tell us they would get back to us over 2 months ago. I'm still waiting for that.
Okay, and my only other question is, looking at policies and things, just the vagueness of it, it says, et cetera, the chief rules of that looks a little.
Did I put et cetera in there?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was a typo.
Okay, so.
Take it out.
Okay.
But move to amend the motion to delete, et cetera.
All those in favor? A second? Is there a second to
Sure, I'll
that?
second my own.
Any discussion on that?
To amend the motion.
Too vague.
To amend it to take out et cetera, because that again could lead to misuse. Any discussion on that? All those in favor of taking that out? All right. The other thing, Sean, honestly, I would have no objection if the teachers union came forth with agreements for this. I would have absolutely no objection. This is common practice. Again, it can't be misused, and I have all the confidence that our administration would not misuse it.
With all due respect, based on You know, you get that.